Hello, welcome to Spotlight on the short run of Spectre. I think that's the way to pronounce it. For years, if not decades, I think I pronounced this character incorrectly as Spectre. But I think the proper way to pronounce the name is Spectre. Anyhow, I will showcase the first 5 issues, mainly for the Neil Adams work, but might as well include issue 1, which is a really nice looking book right here. Pretty sharp book, not an easy book to find in high grade because of the black cover. This is a beautiful copy. The worst flaw is right there. Okay, otherwise beautifully centered, razor sharp edges, gorgeous white page inside, and you have the classic Murphy Anderson art inside. Really good stuff. For those that are DC fans, Murphy Anderson, Kurt Swan, Joe Kubert, 3 of the pillar of Silver Age DC. There are more artists out there, but for me, those 3, and then you can throw in Nick Cardy in there as well. Russ Heath, for those that are fan of the war genre. I'm just gonna try to go through this quickly. I will try to show all 5 books in one video, so hopefully the pacing will be just right instead of too slow or too fast. I like Murphy Anderson. He's one of those artists that if I was going to do a spotlight on Silver Age artists over at DC, I definitely would do one on Murphy Anderson because I really do like his style. It is unique. It's very different from the typical Silver Age Marvel that you see from Buscema, Kirby, or Romita, or Ditko. Murphy had his own style. It is interesting that in his early days at DC, Neil Adams jumped on and do 2 of the characters that are in the mystical realm, or how to describe Spectre and Deadman. They're not quite the typical superhero, but I always thought it was kind of odd that he ended up doing both of these characters at the same time. This book, when Neil Adams started drawing this series, he was doing strange adventures as well. So, surprisingly, for a young artist, maybe because he's young and he has a lot of energy, Neil Adams was definitely working very hard at this stage of his career, because unlike the 70s where he did probably more commercial work and less, as you can see right here, there's an advertisement for his first work, Neil Adams' first work over at Strange Adventures. And look at that, there's an ad for the TV show. Okay, so we blow through issue 1 fairly quickly. Okay, so here's issue 2. Here's my beautiful copy. So he was doing this at the same time he was doing Strange Adventures, and it was not a monthly titles, so it's not as if he was drawing 2 books per month. Neil Adams is working very hard and fairly quick, but he's on top of this. DC started to have him do a lot of covers. Okay, so imagine Neil Adams doing a book like this, as well as drawing a dozen covers each month. So he was very busy. he was very prolific right on. That's a beautiful splash page right there. Okay, I'm just gonna go and show you page by page. I love whenever Neil Adams do big panels with the close up of the faces. Just beautiful expression. I personally like the works, his work over at Strange Adventures more than this series. I think mainly because of the character. You know, Dead Man was a cooler looking character, as well as having a cooler color scheme being red. It just make the panels and his appearance much more impactful compared to this character. But look at that. That is so awesome. Just as in Strange Adventures, as you can see, Neil Adams was pretty bold with his panel layout. Perhaps not as bold as Strange Adventures. I think he put a lot more creativities in the other series compared to this one. For me, the art in this series is good, but there were much less wow moment, much less eye candies moment where I can stare at the pictures and study all the little details. So in that, it's hard to compare to his work with Dead Man. Here is a cool full page little interview between the Spectre and Neil Adams. Learned his birthday right there, June. He was already 26 years old when he drew this book, so he's a young professional, but certainly a lot older than I thought. I knew Neil Adams is fairly old today, but I didn't realize how old he was until I saw that letter page. I thought he was in the 70s. Look at that. Pretty cool. Is with Strange Adventures. Neil Adams eventually wrote the books also, so he basically did triple duties, if not everything. He did the writing, the penciling, the inking, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he also did the coloring. Back in those days, I think a lot of artists or inker did the coloring. When I saw this panel right here, my first thought was, oh, it looked a lot like the Living Monolith and Havoc in the X-Men years later. Okay, and that's conclude issue 2. Here's issue 3. Beautiful copy. Love the Wildcat. Here's a splash page. Not the best or most exciting splash page, for sure. Look at that. I love that. I believe either in this issue or next issue there is a letter page. On the letter page there is a letter from Klaus Janson. I'm not sure if the same Klaus Janson as we know, but I had to research on that. It would be funny if it is indeed Klaus Janson, the famed inker. Look at that. When I read this issue and looked through this, it made me yearn for Neil Adams Black Panther team up. I think it would have been awesome if he did a Black Panther series, because I just love how he drew this character. One of those wish list things that will never happen, but that's what was in my mind when I looked at this book the first time. It's funny, when I look at this book now, it's so, it reminds of the time in the late 60s where a lot of people wear suits even when they don't need to. If you look at a lot of old news clip, there's a lot of people that wear suits. It was a fashion thing, so whenever you see, look at the arts in many of these books in the mid 60s through the late 60s, many average person wear suits. This particular book, look at that. think that's it for issue 3.